Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 26 shows Shikamaru talking to the old people again. And basically what's essentially happening is they're saying, you have to kill Boruto. How'd you get your information, Shikamaru? Like, they keep on hounding him over the smallest details, you know what I'm saying? And, obviously that raises some eyebrows, it raises some questions. But in the long run, if they're not actively doing anything, if they're not actively participating, like, why do they get to say, you know what I mean? Because of Shikamaru, no matter where the information came from, things ended up going pretty well, you know what I mean? Like, they do see it as a victory, but they don't see it as like a perfect victory. It's like, nothing's perfect, you know what I mean? You gotta work with what you got, you know what I'm saying? But Shikamaru can't reveal all of that, so instead he just has to say, listen, I had a hunch about something, and if it failed, I put my own stake as the Hokage onto it, you know what I mean? And so, now there's kind of the debate about whether or not Shikamaru is going to stay the Hokage. And I think, for right now, I think Shikamaru stays the Hokage for, like, a little bit of time. But, in the grand total, in the grand, like, scheme of the story of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, it is going to get to a point where Shikamaru probably will get the Hokage title stripped from him. Like, they're going to take it away and put somebody else in that spot. Who they would put in that spot, I don't know. I have no idea. But it is curious to think about, like, what's it going to take for them to, like, fully get rid of Shikamaru. And I think the important part is when they do, or when it gets to that point, it's going to be because of Boruto. Because of Momoshiki, because of Kashin Koji, because of, little cracks that are going to appear in front of them. And it's going to be really difficult for them to ignore it and Shikamaru's failures. And then they're just basically going to fire him as Hokage and take him from the title. Now, when that happens, who knows what comes next, you know what I mean? Who knows, like, who takes the Hokage seat after Shikamaru, you know what I mean? I have a feeling they're going to give it to Konohamaru, because if after this interrogation Konohamaru checks through, they might be under the impression that Konohamaru might do exactly what they say. He's young, he's impressionable, he's been with the 7th Hokage, he's been hanging out with the 8th Hokage, you know what I mean? Like, he's basically their poster child for, like, shinobi, you know what I mean? Like, he's the one that they can point to and be like, oh my goodness, he was a shinobi when, Pain invaded the village. He's the son of the 3rd Hokage. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they have more of an intention to raise up Konohamaru than anybody else. So it seems like that's the direction they may go in. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be crazy to see how Shikamaru fails, you know what I mean? And how the repercussions, like, start to go downhill, you know what I mean? Until eventually they have no choice but to, I don't know, what's the right word? They have no choice but to, like, rely on or put their trust in Boruto and the others to fight off the enemy, to face off against the Shinju, to face off against Momoshiki, to face off against the other Kara members, to go up against Code, to go up against whatever Amado's cooking up, you know what I mean? To go up against everything, just everything. And it's gonna be crazy to see. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Shikamaru is gonna eventually get the Hokage title taken away from him? Like, he's gonna get fired? Or do you guys think that he's gonna stay Hokage all the way through with, like, little touches of, like, okay, you're going to be the Hokage, and then things just get so out of control, so crazy that him being fired as Hokage doesn't even really matter. It's just more of like it's more of like he's the Hokage, you know what I mean? And he has to make the quick decisions, I don't know. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah,